I've read a lot of books over the years, and well, I don't really have a lot of favorites, but the few that I do have, they become a hyperfixation. So I thought, why not? Let me make a video about it, since it's something I love to talk about, and it's something I can post. I'm not gonna really stall a lot before I get into the video. I'm just gonna hop right in. My favorite standalone book is by far A Faraway Magic by Amy Wilson. On the back of the book you can read the following. When Angel moves to a new school after the death of her parents, she isn't interested in making new friends. Neither is Bavar. He's too busy trying to hide. But Bavar has a kind of magic about him, and Angel is drawn to the shadows that lurk in the corners of his world. Could it be that magic and those shadows that killed her parents? Now, there's a lot that is in the book that I really love, but one of my favorite things is the relationship between Bavar and Angel. There is nothing really romantic between them. They're like super close friends, even though they just met. I can see that they really will get along just fine. And I kind of love the way he's so protective over her, even though he only met her a few days ago. And I really think that's written really well. As for the magic system in the book, I really like it because you don't really know what it is. Like, Bavar can do some things and you don't know why, you don't know how it works. And I like it. I don't like having to memorize a whole magic system for it just to not be that important. The overall plot of the book is also really well written, and it's easy to follow, it being a standalone book and everything. I do wish there is a second book just for me to have more of the characters. The book ended on a really nice place, and I can see that there isn't really much you can do for a sequel because it ended and they were happy and everything was fine and there wasn't really much to expand on. I just really want to see more of the characters. I actually check every now and again to see if someone else has found the book and has made fan art of it or something, because I want a visual representation of them. Because I don't really trust my own skills enough to show the characters and what's their situation. Because, well, I'm not really that good with imagining what Bavar would look like. Because he's this really tall character with bushy hair, I think, bushy curly hair, and you barely see his face. And it's hard for me to imagine it, but I can already tell that if I see him, I would want to give him a big old hug. That's just the kind of person I am. My all-time favorite author, who has this huge universe with all kinds of trilogies in it, is definitely Robin Hobb. Her books are very long and they are easy to follow. And, well, I really adore her universe with Fitz and the Fool. Now, the cover reads, "The kingdom of the Six Duchies is on the brink of civil war when news breaks that the crown prince has fathered a bastard son and is shamed into abdication. The child's name is Fitz and he is despised. Raised in the castle stables, only the company of the king's fool, the ragged children of the lower city, and his unusual affinity with animals provide Fitz with any comfort. To be useful to the crown, Fitz is trained as an assassin and to use the traditional magic of the Farseer family. But his tutor, allied to another political faction, is determined to discredit, even kill him. Fitz must survive, for he may be destined to save the kingdom." Now, I have been known to read the same book of this series over and over again and never get bored of it. And by now I know all my favorite scenes by heart and I know where to find them. I can read these for years straight and I won't ever get tired of it. Just as a little warning to those of you who may not be comfortable with this, there is a lot of violence in here and a couple of spice scenes, but with the spice scenes you can just flip right past them and you won't really miss anything. Nothing really important happens during any of them unless you consider the discussions they have or something like that. I don't know. I usually just skim read past them because I don't really like things like that, but with these books I can ignore that. There are mostly just 2 magic systems in these books, and there are also some things called hedge witches, but you don't really learn a lot about them. They just, as far as I know, they just make charms and read your palms and things like that. The main magic system is called the skill, and it's both simple and complicated. And then there's this other one that the main character also has, which is called the wit or old blood. I won't really elaborate further other than the fact that the wit is also very simple and very complicated at the same time, and it's much more fun to figure it out on your own. All of the characters in these books are very well written, and I really love their relationships that they have. It gets complicated sometimes, and sometimes it's really simple, and sometimes even one of the characters have problems with the main character and his best friend's relationship, because in the time era, people might assume some things about them that are just not true, and it makes for very fun to read conversations. Overall, I really enjoy the plot. It makes a lot of sense, and it just flows really smoothly, and you never really completely expect the plot twists. I really recommend these books if you're comfortable with reading things that has violence and the minimal amount of spice in it. But that's all for now. I don't really have much more to say because I'm not really used to talking about these books to no particular person at all. So, yeah.